Savage Worlds recently introduced the Savage Worlds Players Book through a Kickstarter campaign catering specifically to players, and the PDF was recently released. While it shares much in common with the Savage Worlds Adventure Edition core rulebook, it has some notable differences. In this video, we'll dive into the distinctions between these two books. Welcome to the channel, my name's Josh, and let's just dive right into it. First and foremost, the Players Book is tailored entirely to the needs of players, in contrast to the core rulebook, which addresses both players and game masters. This shift in focus is evident throughout the book, bringing about several noteworthy changes. The book has no new options, features, or sections directed at players. The changes primarily remove certain pieces of information that are irrelevant to players. As I read the book, the first noticeable omission is the absence of 3 ancestry options. The half-elves and half-folk on one page, and the Saurians on another. I don't know why they removed these, but nevertheless, they're gone. They also removed the section on creating an ancestry. The reasoning behind this choice is unclear, but it may have been a deliberate move to simplify character creation and make it less likely for players to make their own ancestries without GM permission. It's an understandable removal, but removing this section leaves players without a reference for this character customization aspect, which could be seen as a missed opportunity. The Player's Book also lacks a typical ally section under the section about allies, which aligns with its player-centric approach, as this concept is primarily relevant for game masters only. Another change involves chases. The Player's Book excludes the section about groups and chases and provides only one example of a customized chase. This is a sensible cut for the Player's Book as the GM controls the groups, not the players. Further streamlining occurs in the dramatic task section by removing some lines from the multi-person task section and general directions to the GM. These are guidelines for setting up the dramatic task for the GM that the players do not need. Additionally, the death trap section, designed for the game masters, has been eliminated, keeping the player book focused on player-oriented content. They also removed the Rule of 3 sidebar. The sidebar was mainly directed at GMs to help give them an insight into how the game is to be run. Nothing is related to the rules in this section, and removing it seems to have helped them get the formatting back on track with the core rules. Setting rules, often utilized by game masters to customize their campaigns, have also been removed from the Player's Book. Players don't need to know all the setting rules that are possible. The GM can inform them of which ones they're using for their game. They also removed the social conflict and travel examples. This was likely to reduce the page count or align formatting with the core rulebook, aiming to create a more budget-friendly book for players. I noticed throughout the book that the pages matched precisely as they were in the core rulebook wherever possible. Something they included that I was surprised to see was the wealth rule in the Player's Book. The rule always felt to me more like a setting rule rather than its own thing, so I was a little surprised to see it in the Player's Book. It's at this point the Player's Book ends, excluding the bestiary and game mastering sections, which are obviously exclusively intended for GMs. Removing these sections makes complete sense, and I fully expected to see them cut from the rules for the Player's Guide. Obviously, the index is also shorter in the Player's Book due to the reduced content. Ultimately, the Player's Book clocks in at 160 pages compared to the 208-page count of the core rulebook. For me, this actually highlights how much of the core rulebook is actually for players, not just for GMs. As to whether these changes are worth it, it's hard to say without knowing what the MSRP of these books is going to be. Many players may find these books helpful as a rules reference, especially when exploring new settings and campaigns, but they may just want to opt for the core rulebook. Did I miss any significant differences? Do you have any thoughts of these changes? Please share your comments below. And if you're a new player looking to create your own Savage Worlds character, be sure to check out the video linked here. And until next time, stay savage.